human being literally tortured and allowed to die while she is alive.
An East Feliciana Parish couple awaiting sentencing after pleading no contest in the death of their daughter.
Inhuman story of Lacey Ellen Fletcher. On January 3, 2022, a lady named Sheila called 911 and said that she had found Lacey Ellen dead on the couch. After receiving a strange call, emergency services and police arrived at that address. Unfortunately, they discovered Lacey dead, barely clothed and malnourished, 44 kilograms body, fused into the leather couch of the family. Lacey Ellen Fletcher, a girl, is very tragic in itself, but the way she died is so deplorable condition that could not be possible to imagine. No doubt, the story of Lacey Ellen's life and death stunned the nation. No one was ready to believe how that East Feliciana girl was found lying on a fetid couch at her home in Sloughter. Dr. Ewell Bickham examined the body of Fletcher when she after was found dead and fused to the couch in the home.
When I walked in, the house smelled of a stench of, it smelled like a sewer, a septic tank.
According to reports, the 36-year-old lady had spent more than half of her life in this home. It is also unbelievable that her last record of leaving was for an appointment with a doctor in 2010. However, Lacey's life was gradually reduced to the breadth of one couch, where she was permitted to sit in her filth. It is so painful to say that when Lacey passed away, her hair was covered in maggots. Even you would not believe it. She had ulcers all over her body and her weight was just 96 pounds. It was revealed that Lacey Fletcher had been neglected by her parents for at least 12 years, which leads a decrease in her cognitive abilities that prevented her house due to a cognitive health decline. Lacey's parents were Sheila and Clay Fletcher. Both are 66. They were arrested for murder charges after to found her daughter's dead body in their home in Slaughter, Louisiana. Lacey Fletcher was targeted autistic and was bullied reportedly in high school. Later, Lacey's parents, Sheila and Clay Fletcher, decided to withdraw her from school in favor of homeschooling. Because Sheila and Clay were better known to complain about Lacey, they said that they did not want to be parents. When she was 24 years old, because decline in her cognitive health led to Lacey being unable to leave the house, she was reduced to using the family's leather couch. However, her parents have left Lacey on the couch rather than taking her to the doctor. Lacey was neglected for a long time instead of seeking medical assistance. Even she was later found dead, covered in her own excrement. It was said that bugs and maggots were eating away at her body, and she had become fused to the leather couch. Lacey's parents had spent almost 18 months denying involvement in the second-degree murder after being twice indicated by a grand jury and facing the possibility of life in prison without parole. After this session, Sheila Fletcher's lawyer gave a protracted and impassioned defense of the couple. According to Stephen Moore, the lawyer of Lacey's parents, the Fletchers had no intention to harm their daughter.
An update to a gruesome case. The parents of a woman found dead and basically rotting on a couch in deplorable conditions have entered a no contest plea today in court. Chris Rosado spoke with the prosecutor. He's here to explain what that means. Chris.
That's true. They were careless. The lawyer gave his statement during the hearing that it is clear they were careless. They loved her to death. That is the true statement of the Fletchers. They loved their daughter to death. According to the reports of the medical expert, Lacey was extremely dirty, knotted hair with feces and maggots. There were insect bites to her left ear, face and arms that happened before she died. Plus, Lacey's hair was extremely matted into a 24x 18-inch knotted ball and cannot be straightened. The scalp is red and crusted, and the ears are extremely dirty with crusted faces and small lesions on the left ear due to ante-mortem insect activity. We all can imagine the tragic end of Lacey, but when we look back at it, we all wonder why and how could this happen? Unfortunately, it did happen. Even though Sheila and Clay Fletcher never had a single intent to harm their daughter, they loved their daughter to a fault. The lawyer admitted that even though the things that happened to Lacey were extremely horrible, her parents cared for her daily. Sheila Fletcher would come home daily at lunch to care for and eat lunch with her daughter. Even Sheila slept on the couch with her daughter every night. Sheila and Clay left her daughter Lacey on the couch with towels next to her so that she could clean up her feces and pee after cognitive health. Except for the couch, where the girl was still unable to get off of on her own. The rest of their house was well cleaned. Gradually, Lacey's clothes started to no longer fit her, simply draping off of her body. Actually, the parents would frequently leave to celebrate New Year's and leave Lucy there to starve. With the spending of time, her muscles atrophied, and vermin started to eat at her extremities under the couch, leaving mouse droppings and maggots to thrive in the space. It was clear that Lacey had been trying hard to lift herself out of the couch to avoid the pain, but her severe malnourishment and atrophy of leg muscles didn't allow her to move.
That is not who they are. They are not criminals.
She basically was alive when she was filled with maggots and the bed sores.
Even her body was fused into the leather couch cushions as she was covered in pee and feces, and also maggots living in her hair and inside her. She suffered malnourishment and bone diseases, leading finally to sepsis, which claimed her life. Not only that, but under her fingernails and her stomach were feces and couch cushions that indicated that she had tried to save herself by eating her surroundings before dying on the couch during or soon after her parents' vacation for the holidays. At autopsy, Lacey also had COVID-19. Lacey had also bone visible from severe wounds and sores when found dead, and she was infested with maggots while she was still alive. In fact, this infestation included the area around her genitals. According to the reports of Dr. Troxclair Well, maggots were present in the perineum and areas of the decubitus ulcers. If the maggots had appeared after death, there would have been at least a minimal presence of eggs or larvae in the region of Lacey's eyes, ears, or nose. These areas, together with the wounds, are the preferred spots for colonization. Basically, there was no evidence of decomposition at the time of the autopsy. That's why it was determined that the maggots appeared prior to death. The forensic pathologist headed one of her findings as severe chronic careless. Dr. Troxclair also said Lacey suffered from chronic protein malnutrition and acute starvation. She was 5'1" tall, but weighed only 96 pounds at death. He also added that fecal matter, both crusted and fresh, present on the body such as the face, chest, abdomen, perineum, and extremities. She was only wearing a t-shirt, and it appeared that there was excessive urine and feces underneath the victim and on the floor. In May 2022, Lacey's parents were arrested and charged with the second-degree murder of their daughter. After that, Sheila and Clay were later released on bail. A judge dismissed the murder charge, but they were re-indicted on her daughter's murder by a grand jury in June 2023. On February 6, 2024, Sheila and Clay entered a plea of no guilty, even in exchange for the accusation being dropped to the lesser conviction of manslaughter. Had they faced a mandatory second-degree murder, they would have been sentenced to life in jail without the chance to resale. Of course, they cannot be able to release on bail now. The prosecution declared their intention to pursue the maximum manslaughter of 40 years in prison in an effort to save a de facto life sentence for Sheila and Clay. However, they were given a 20-year in prison on March 20th, 2024. According to Dr. Lacey Fletcher's cause of death was severe chronic neglect. Even a lot of officials said it was one of the worst cases they had ever witnessed. It's very strange. When one of these houses of horror is uncovered, even the neighbors typically claim that they have no idea what's going on inside this home. Neighbors of the Fletchers told reporters in 2022 that they had not seen Lacey for 15 years. Even the neighbor, Robert Blades, who was 61 years old, said that Lacey was just a normal fun kid before vanishing from view. He also said that he had not seen her for a long time. He also said that I actually thought maybe she got married and moved on somewhere else. Even asking Clay Lacey's father, "How is Lacey? How's she doing? Has she moved off? Went to college or what?" He replied to me, "Oh no, she's still here, she's fine." And after that, he changed the subject, and that's it. While Lacey's case was extreme, we have to question how many homes in our communities are scenes of similar despair. Well, if you liked this interesting video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned for the latest updates. We'll catch you soon. Goodbye for now.